It's a Block Bull right about now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel now. Today we're going to talk about the news with XRP because we have got a lot of things in the market actually unfolding now over the next couple of months. So we've got the XRP ETF, which is now confirmed. So I'm very surprised that we're actually seeing a new ETF for XRP before this lawsuit, or well, before this $125 million fine has been paid to the SEC. Now, I'm surprised Solana hasn't beaten XRP Ripple to the punch on the ETF front, in my opinion. We've also got Ripple Labs USD stablecoin also launching, which is closer than ever. And there's a potential that the SEC may not appeal in less than 5 days as well. So there's a lot to play for at the moment for the SEC. So this is where we are now in terms of the charts. Now, I'm currently on the Velo just because I've been quickly having a look. But if we flick over to the XRP chart, we can see exactly where we are currently playing out at the moment. Now, as always, I'm on the weekly time frame, lines with markers. Nothing new over here. But guys, I'm going to show you right now where we are playing out. So I do expect the market to continue dumping 15% in the interim. However, that's not a big issue because what you got to remember is in the markets, you've actually not lost any of your coins. You still hold the exact amount of coins. All you're seeing is when you go onto your portfolio and you refresh, all you're seeing then is the USD value, dropping. So, in my opinion, unless you've lost coins or you're having to withdraw, it's no big deal because, again, let's just mark this out now. We're still expecting that 50 cent, and that would be around 12-13% correction. So, if you're actually eyeing the risk to reward ratio now with XRP, we're in a phenomenal space here because you can see, as always, the charts of subscribers that are subscribing. I think it's around 40% of you guys are subscribing that actually watch these videos frequently. We've got the Bitcoin halving here highlighted with this vertical line, US elections. So it's not until the US elections we actually really get going. Now, US elections will be on the 5th of November, so we're approximately 4 weeks before we actually start seeing Ripple's XRP begin mortaring. Now, we've got all this to contend with as well, so for me, as a chart analyst, it doesn't really matter what the news is. The news is coming out. All we can do is plot the news events on the actual graphs, okay, which is what we've done over here. Now, for me, even though we've got the SEC appeal with Ripple's $125 million is already in escrow, so Ripple are already ready to pay the fine. Now, whether or not that actually gets released to pay the SEC's $125 million imposed fine is another thing, but I don't think it really matters. I don't feel as though we're going to actually move in price prior, because you can see here in the previous cycle, it was after the US elections we got moving. You can see how we actually flatlined running into the US elections here. You can see my cursor, and if you follow it down to the bottom of the page, that's the 31st of August running into September. From beginning of September all the way through October, we was pretty much flat. Okay. Now look at this Bitcoin halving. We'll go from say September time. So this was beginning of September. So we got a bit of a pump, but that was just to retest. Now look at this, guys. I've been calling for 50 cent after the US elections. So if you say, just take this comparison, yeah, because over the last couple of days we've been up about 64-65 cent, yeah. This is the equivalent to the previous super cycle that was back in the 16, 17, 18 cycle. So call this here around 64-65 cent. Now we've had a bit of a dip down to about 60 cents, so this is where I believe we are. Now, we could actually wrong foot the market and actually pump and do a little fake out here. So let's just see how far this is actually pumped up. Say we're on 60 cent now. We've actually pumped up 20% there. Okay. So from 60 cent now where we're currently trading, let's just double check we're at 60 cent. We're at 58 cent. Say we're at 58 cent now. Okay. 58 cent. Plus that 20% impulse. I'm going to round it up to 22% because I believe we've fallen a little bit more than what this is stipulating here from the previous super cycle. So we'll say plus 22%, okay, which is about 12-13 cents. So we'll add that on. So there could be a potential for XRP to run up from current price action up to 70 you can see as we go into November, we actually roll over, and this is where I believe XRP will then tag 50 cent. Okay, so again, if I actually zoom in for you guys to make it a little bit more clear, you can see we're pumping that 13 cent here. Now, if I was to reverse this, what I'll do is I'll just quickly delete that TA, and then what I'll do is I'll do one coming down. So from 70 cent, we're looking at a fall here. So I believe around this sort of price here, this was the Bitcoin halving. So this would be the equivalent to 50 cent. We actually fell deeper in this case. So we fell as low as 37, 38%. Now, if I go onto the candles, we actually fell even further. We fell more like 40%. So what I'm saying is, guys, even though I'm expecting minimum 50 cent to be tagged, we could go up to 70 cent in the interim before the US elections. After the US elections, we're looking at that capitulation. So what we'll do is we'll actually apply this sort of logic analysis over to the new cycle. Now, I could just draw a new 40% in, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to be lazy, and I think it'll speed things up. So you could see XRP now running up to about 70 cent, even from this sort of price. So what we could do is, boom, 70%, following that across there. There you go. 71 cent is where we're at there before Bitcoin halving. So from current price action, looking at a 22% rise. Okay, and then once that takes place, we're looking at dipping, like I said, below that 50 cent mark. So we're looking at doing like a 40% correction. So let's just see where that takes us. Takes us below 50 cent, which is what this horizontal yellow line is stipulating there. So that'll be approximately 30% dip. We will go a bit lower. Again, they are spikes, they are wicks. So I'm not looking for us to go much lower than that. Potentially, we could take out this sort of weekly close down here. So that could be the absolute bottom for XRP before we really get running, before we have all this sort of great news coming out for XRP. So where are you? XRP ETF. We've got the stablecoin launch, and obviously we've got the no appeal in 5 days. So we could get in 5 days' time, 6th, 7th of October, SEC say, you know what, we're not going to appeal. XRP pumps up to 70 cent, 71, 72 cent, which we've just been stipulating here with this 22% move. Now, everyone's going to be saying, breakout, breakout, breakout. Twitter's going to be full of all the big accounts that know nothing about technical analysis. Big explosion. We're going to the moon. This is it. This is it. That's what I'm predicting is going to happen now in another week when this appeal comes around. And what will XRP do? It will tank after the US elections. I've got to stress the operative word is after the US elections. So that's in approximately 4 weeks. You'll see XRP go from around 70 cent all the way down to sub 50 cent, where I believe we can spike down at least wick and take out this low here. So we're looking, in my opinion, around that sort of 42 cent. If you get a 42 cent XRP, best believe you need to be actually backing the truck up, because XRP from, I would say, the first week in January is going to rock it like nobody's business. We're going to do the first impulse in free, in my opinion, which we experienced down here, which for whatever reason is not loading up at the moment because I'm currently on the Wi-Fi extender. However, this is where we are now. So make sure you've got a plan for this bull market, because this bull market has a potential to generate you and your family generational wealth. We're not going to see another super cycle like this for another 7-8 years. We'll get a super cycle this time around, and then it'll be an ordinary cycle where we can see suppression. Then that will be the end game, the following cycle after that. So in 8 years' time, you'll see the end game. So we'll be looking at 2030 and beyond. And that's when crypto will be pretty much within, the whole world will be pretty much digitized and tokenized at that point. Okay, so the plan is over here, theblockbulls.com. The link is down below in the description. We've got the XRP plan, and we've also got the XDC, which has been newly released. A lot of repeat business, which is promising, because that just goes to show how good the XRP plan was, and the statistical sort of data in terms of like the time analysis in order for us to get to interim peaks, exit peaks, and in order to mitigate any of those 90 to 95%. So any money you make in the markets, make sure you keep hold of the money that you make in these markets, and that will secure it for just above $100. That'll secure it. You pay $100 for a financial advisor per hour. This is a whole plan for the whole of the super cycle. Make sure to grab that opportunity. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it with you. That's been a Block Bull for now. I shall see you in the next video. Block Bull over.